Let me start this by saying that I, myself, may be guilty of some of these, but that does not make it okay for other people. That being said, anyone who's ever met me can confirm that I'm very passionate about a lot of things. So we're going to focus on the negative aspect of that today, because I'm a negative person. The first thing that truly makes me angry is temperature. Not when it's too hot, not when it's too cold, and not when it's comfortable. But that weird little bit where it's just a little bit too warm or just a little bit too cold. And so that way you can't put on a jacket or turn on the heat or turn on the AC, because then you'll be too cold or too hot, and then it'll be an extreme. But you're not comfortable with what it is now. There's nothing you can do about it, so you just have to sit there and be uncomfortable until otherwise. That fucking grinds my gears. The second thing that makes me angry is when you're walking in a hallway and people don't realize that this is America. We drive on the right side of the road, we walk on the right side of the hallway.
Do not try to come at me with this left side bullshit.
I don't know what kind of revolutionary you think you're trying to be, but it's not appreciated here, and it needs to stop, because I'm gonna lose my shit. Another thing that makes me angry is when people disagree with someone just because they don't like them as a person, and they won't listen to their ideas just because they already don't like that person. Maybe that person's correct about one or two things and they're wrong about 90 other things, but you can't just say that one or two things that could be right is just wrong just because they suck as a person. Hate the person, not the idea. That's something I've never understood why people can't grasp in it. That ties into politics, but this is not a politics video. I'm not that controversial yet. Tying back into the thing about being slightly uncomfortable is when you have to drive a certain distance that's not necessarily short and it's not necessarily long. Something that's 40 minutes away. It's not an hour away, it's not 20 minutes away, but it's 40, and that's just inconvenient enough to be a problem. I don't understand people, specifically teachers, who put a lot of information on one slide and then expect you to copy it all down in the time it takes them to read the slide. They're not even talking about stuff that isn't on the slide. If it's not on the slide, it's not coming out of their mouth. But yet those are the same teachers that say, when you present, don't just read off the slide. Yeah, Linda, if you don't want me to read off the slide, maybe not do it yourself. Ever think about that? No, because they don't. People who ask you to hang out and then ask you to make the plans. I am extremely guilty of this, but when it happens back to me is when I get angry. The conversation over text message will usually go like this. Hey, do you want to do something? Yeah, sure. What did you have in mind? I don't know. We can do whatever you want.
Don't try to fucking put the pressure on me.
People on social media who are active on one thing, but not active on the other thing, but you really need them to be active on the other thing that they're not active on. If someone's liking a ton of posts on Instagram, but they ain't checking their Snapchat, but you really need them to check that Snapchat, but they ain't doing it. People who hang out with a group of people who are mutual friends of both of yours, and they send you photos with them on Snapchat, but do not invite you to the event where they are hanging out at. Even though they have the possibility to invite you, they are able to invite you, but they are sending you Snapchats of them hanging together. Maybe I wanted to come, you ever fucking think about that? This bullshit right here, that Apple's trying to tell me that I gotta plug in my fucking headphones into the charging port instead of giving me a headphone jack. I don't think so. When someone says that older music is the only good music, I have never understood this, and I don't think I ever will. I've never been more betrayed when I give someone an aux and they play music for a 20-minute car ride, and it does not pass the year 1990. In 2008, people were saying that the music then was so bad, and they missed the music from the 90s when it was good music. And now, when a song comes on from 2008, people are like, oh my god, this song was so good, I miss when music was like this. Fuck out of here. There is good music every year. Do not try to tell me that you do not like a single song or artist that is currently producing music, because you are a fucking liar. Stop sucking the dick of Michael Jackson and get your head out of the gutter and fucking get with the times. I cannot stress this enough. Do not be one of these people. They are the worst. People who hate Republicans purely because they are Republicans are not okay. And vice versa. People who hate liberals or Democrats just because they are. People are so much more than their political beliefs. I swear to God. I said earlier in the video that I was not going to get political because I was not that controversial. Well, now I am. If you know someone is a different political party than you and you bring up politics, you did that to yourself. I have no pity for you. Don't start shit when you don't need to. I have never understood people who spend more than $100 on a pair of shoes. That is ridiculous. I cannot physically remember when I have bought a pair of shoes that have been more than $45. You do not need that $250 pair of shoes. I do not care what brand they are or what they look like. Nothing is ever worth that much that goes on the bottom of your fucking feet unless it allows you to fly, which in that case, oh my God, buy those shoes. I will buy 5 myself. But no. People who shame people for partying. And vice versa that, people who shame people for not partying. And that applies to drinking too. Shaming people for drinking and shaming people who don't drink. And the same thing for weed. Shaming people who do smoke and shaming people that don't smoke. But like if they're doing meth, then you should probably shame them for that. Unless you two are a meth addict and then you two can probably get along and do some meth. So good for you. But also not. Like, don't do meth. This is now a PSA against doing meth. People who, when it is 10 degrees outside, have the audacity to wear shorts. I do not care. Unless you are physically about to compete in a sport, you do not wear shorts in that temperature. That is not okay. I don't know who told you that it was. I don't know what you're trying to prove, but it makes me feel cold looking at you. Do not be that person. People who have a specific brand of water bottle and refuse to drink other water bottle brands because they swear their water bottle brand is the only one that's good. It is water. You will drink the water. If I hand you a water bottle and you say, ew, Dasani, I will beat you with that Dasani. And then I will recycle that bottle because I don't litter. And lastly, I would like to talk about flakes. People who you have been planning something with for over a week, and when the day comes, or even when the hour before you are supposed to do said thing, they all of a sudden can no longer do said thing. Either to lame excuse, something they found out about 5 days ago and forgot to tell you about, or they just don't feel like it. No. I'm not one for trying to say that your feelings are not valid unless you are sick in some sort of manner, whether that sickness be depression or the common cold or anything similar to either of those, and you still say that you just don't feel like it. No. We are past feelings. You have most likely had a week if I am this adamant about it. If we have had almost a week or more of planning this, you've had that entire stretch of time to tell me that there may be a chance that you may not want to go there, or that you may not want to do that. But you wait until the very last minute to be like, I don't feel like doing this thing. And all of a sudden, the plans that had been built up for a specific amount of time are no longer there.
That is not okay.
Even worse, if I had to cancel on someone else because I knew that we had plans that day and that it was too late for me to accept that other invitation.
I will fucking murder you.
Like, I have so much free time right now. I might as well just start planning your funeral since I don't have other plans. And sometimes I'll just let it go. I won't say anything. I'll go, you know what? Okay, let's reschedule. But if someone makes me reschedule more than once, or God forbid, more than twice? You don't want to see me after I've had to reschedule plans twice and they still fall through. Even if you tell me that the plans have fell through for the third time and we are not near each other, we are not in the same room, I will call you, I will FaceTime you, and it will be the worst call or the worst FaceTime you've ever had. Do not cancel more than twice. Unless a major incident has happened in your life or someone that you knows, there will be no excuse valid enough for me not to be angry. Like if the line's right here in Boston, you went all the way to Philadelphia. That's how far you crossed the line. I got angry just thinking about that in past times that has happened. And I need to end this video before I make myself even angrier. That being said, this week's shout out still goes to my dog Molly, because she's still alive and she will always be so long as she lives. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. Like this video if you have the same burning hatred within you. And tell me in the comments what makes you angry. I want to know what fuels your burning hatred for humanity. Except Donald Trump. Do not put Donald Trump in the comments. There will be a flood of Donald Trumps. I see it. I'm Raven Samoan from That's So Raven. I can see into the future. And just have it be something else, because that's a given. That is a given. And except for like 20% of the population. Anyways, I am in a yoga pose to calm down. I will see you all next week on this channel, most likely. Or on my Instagram, making worse and worse content there as well. See ya.